teaching everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody, everybody now you know. The love bubble give you good vibration. They keep you comfy when the trouble raining. So look inside and find the deep elation. Now move your happiness across the entire nation. Everybody in the bubble give love, cause everybody in the bubble got love, yeah. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know. You and I can't afford to be strangers. We got the light of good no matter what be the danger. Angels, I know they follow me around. They're making sure I keep it pure by keeping it safe and sound. I get toned down to the music alive. Forever the melody telling me how to be better than just on time. It's the heat from the lights, sun beams in the sky, from the trees to the signs on the street. There's a vibe in my feet. Of course you know they be funky. They're keeping the funky punk alive like I was a monkey. Limb to limb swinging, limb by limb flinging, wind to wind, grin by grin, and they still singing. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know. The little one, Jab is the big one. Jab is the skinny fat, the healthy and the sick one. Holla back no matter if you're not, if you're this one. If you're rich or poor, black, white, the Indonesian. A bit of family love to send you on your way. A tickle of a kiss in the Jaja way. Yeah. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know.
Everybody, how you doing, y'all? My name is M-I-S-T-A, Mr. Cookie Jar. There's so much love in this place, time to huddle up. At this pace, we're bound to double up. You're now surfing on the waves of the love bubble. So just sit back, enjoy the show. There we go. Ho, 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 ho.
Good evening, everyone. Much peace, love, and harmony be with you all. Grizz, hello.
Good evening, Lizzy, and good evening, y'all out there. I hope you're having a great one.
Yeah.
Welcome to PFP, peopleforpeople.ning.com. Glad you could be here with us.
Indeed, the place we all love to be because we do sharing of these love energies, of experiences, of the oneness that we all are. So it's a great place to be this time around, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always an adventure.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Get your kayak. We're gonna go to get some water.
Especially following after Patty and Barb. Them two girls. I'll tell you, they raised the bar on us, don't they?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And as always, we are so in tune. It just shows how the energies are really focusing on this work that we are all doing. It's so important. It just shows. I mean, this is such a good place to be at the moment. People for People Radio. We are all wonderful people here together doing a wonderful work. Don't forget that. You know, you're witnesses and part of it. You're not just standing by. We're all here sharing.
And participants, yes. Speaking to participants, questions and come on here and talk with us are welcome.
Indeed.
So that
Right.
brings, what are we talking about tonight? It's one of those, oh crap, it's Monday already? A calendar to me is like a mirror. I look the opposite way walking by them at all times. So I don't know what day it is all the time.
Well, time, you know, time flies by at the moment. It just doesn't, it seems to be so surreal to me. Hours and days and weeks go by. Um, it just goes. It's just flowing, one into the other. But indeed. So, remind me, what were we talking earlier? Which was I going to jump in and sort of skid around as we were talking chicken hockey. My mind away.
And now you done painted a mental picture out there. I sometimes try to run the chickens in earlier, and especially this time of year where it coincides with me coming on the air and all when they're just about ready to go up. And I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I used to be able to hold my own running after and chasing down chickens, but I can't no more. They just run circles around me and laugh. Well, we're in a situation out here where we're covered in ice. I mean, we got like 6 inches or more of snow, and overnight it just turned to ice. We got rain and it froze, and branches out here at the very ends of the branches are almost have 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And trees are breaking all over the place. So it's a sheet of ice out there. And just painting a picture in your mind, of course, again. The only flat ground where I'm at is man-made. Okay, otherwise it's a hill. So the chickens haven't been wandering too far. And if either one of us goes to make a sudden wrong move, well, gravity takes over. We end up sliding down the hill. So it's just a matter of what did I leave behind to grab onto on the way. And, so I take a broom out there, and I've played and coached hockey in the past, so I would call it broom hockey. It's nothing new to me, but using a chicken instead of a puck is kind of... Anyway, you do what you got to do, right? Just so I don't ruin the egg production.
Absolutely. That just sort of opened a total mental picture of chicken hockey to me. Totally mad. I was laughing. I was like roaring in the background here, holding onto my sides because I was just laughing so badly.
Yeah, well, it's just broom hockey. It doesn't depict what you're using for an object to get in a goal, right? So I'm still safe. I won't have PETA calling me and coming after me.
Anyway, I was earlier talking to you about I woke up one of these mornings really early, and I had to go to work, and it was cold, and I had to pop into a few places, and also at work I asked a few people the same question. It was kind of a trick question. You could look at it like that, but it's just something that is part of all our experiences, all getting together really. So I thought, let's see where people are at. Because I've been going through quite a lot, and everything that I go through culminates into experience, learning, and yet again going further up in the energy levels. Sometimes it goes really well, other times it doesn't, but it is all part of the process. So the question was, and it was actually really early in the morning when I put it to the first 2 people, was, if you have 2 people, one is positive, loving, caring, wonderful, sharing person. The other one is absolute negative, selfish, hateful, very negative. And you have to deal with these 2 people. And where does your attention go? One, the other, both. What do you do? So I went around most of the day asking this question to quite a lot of people, and 99.99% of the people came back with the same reaction. Of course, you ignore the bad person, you push it to the side, and you give your attention to the positive person. That's the one who you give love and care and attention to. You just shove to the side the bad, negative person. Why should you even care about a bad, negative person? You know, it's a thorn in your, in your foot, So people became negative about the negative person straight away.
All right.
And again, I listen to this question, after the question, I listen to their reaction. And again, I sort of was saying, well, is that the right or wrong answer? Because surely there's more to it than that. So you just said right, so I'm going to let you come into that.
It can be a slippery slope. Depends how deep you want to go. But instinctively, to me, when you ask that question, I'm at a place now. I haven't always been this way. I got to be honest with you, but I'm at a place right now where my first thought or personal reaction, whatever you want to call it, is they are both equally deserving of it. Just because one is in a better place than the other does not, it kind of violates the law of love by putting limits, right?
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, the one that's filled with total negativity may be perceived as the one that needs it most. Mm-hmm. And in fact, the one that's in the positive may be in need of it more. So it goes back and forth. But my first reaction would be balance. Give them both what I've got. Treat them both the same. Now, what they do with that, here's where we go down other branches and you have other choices, other options, which are not always derived by you. And we could go to like a worst case scenario. I'll put it in a way where I'm familiar with in dealing with animals. For instance, one story comes to mind. There was a cow, and it was raising all kinds of. I mean, it drew me to it. I couldn't see it. I heard it first, so I go through the woods and I come out to it, and I'm across the road. I'm at a fence line. I'm sitting along a gravel road. I'm sitting on a fence against a fence post. This cow has got a bag over its head, stuck on its horn, and it's flailing its head around wildly. It's scared, right? I mean, it can't see. It's scared, and it's got its head tangled in the barbed wire. And it's just so. My first instinct was, I can't. The last thing you want to do is get stuck between a cow and a fence post. Been there before, and the cow was in a good mood, not like this one was. But so you got to calm it down. So I just sat against the fence post and started talking to it in a calm voice. And lo and behold, you want to talk about timing. We probably got a better chance of getting hit by an asteroid made of gold out here than see a state trooper, right? You don't see state troopers out here often at all. Well, here goes one driving by, and it sees me sitting against the fence post. So naturally he stops, and he goes through his routine, stand up, my hands where I can see him, come over this way. And I'm walking over to him, and the cow's carrying on now worse than it was prior. And I quickly explained to him I was trying to calm the cow down before I did what I needed to do. And he said, okay, have at it. And he went back in his car and sat there. So almost having to go back to point one again, I sat at the fence post and I started talking to him again. Cow, of course, not the cop. And it stops being so wild and active, jerking its head around and all. So as I was talking, I slowly stood up, and I'm keeping the post between it and me because you never know. They're pretty quick. What quicker than I think I am. But and eventually got the bag off its head and, stroked it on the head a couple of times, talked nice to it. It licked its nose and went back to eating grass, having a good day again. That cop shook his head. He let me walk back across the road, and then he pulled up a little bit, stopped again. And he said, I deal with people all day long. Nobody wants to deal with us. I wouldn't touch that one.
Yeah, but that's what you done there was beautiful because you used your energy. Yeah,
But
you used.
where I'm going with nature, though, is the extreme part of that is
Yeah,
if you have a sick, wounded, or rabid animal, and it's survival instinct. We all have it. If you're
abs-
cornered, you feel you have no other options,
yes,
then there really is no reasoning with them. You,
yes,
you have to distance yourself from them or figure a way to contain the problem and deal with it. But there really is no reason.
yes,
Although
absolutely.
it takes some discernment, but like I said, my first impression is equally distributed. What they do with it is up to them at first, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because indeed, when you are dealing with the people that we were just talking of, yeah, and you bring that example you just gave, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Um, uh, and if you give all your love and attention to the positive person, which is beautiful indeed, and it warrants that attention, what you're doing to the negative is poking it and prodding it automatically straight away as you turn your back to it, yeah? So you're feeding it, yeah? More negativity, yeah?
Yes.
And you're giving to the positive nourishment, which is beautiful indeed, yeah? If you do the opposite, if you ignore the positive, you dealing with the negative, you are using a lot of energy to bring out this negative person into a higher positive. It is going to be harder than dealing with the other one, but you again are doing a beautiful thing. And a bit like what you were saying, you have to be careful because you're going to get hurt. But you are doing what you're doing because you are a positive being and you're trying to raise someone's vibration. Yeah.
Mm.
But because you are, while you're doing that, you have turned the back on the positive person, yeah, you scathed it a bit, yeah. And at the same time, the negative person is feeding on the fact that you've hurt a positive, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you are again not handling the situation correctly. This is all very complicated at the same time, but I'm trying to put it in the simplest form. When you dedicate to both, yeah, so no one is lacking, yeah, so you're feeding and helping and loving the loving being. That one itself will pick that up and then heighten itself to a higher level, will help you to help the negative being. The negative you can do is do what you do as a positive being, and that is help it in the best you can. You can never turn the negative into a positive, but you can help it to choose to become positive. So you are neutralizing. By doing that, you're neutralizing its negative polarity into a possibility of becoming a positive. Yeah?
Yep.
Because that is how you turn negative into positive.
It's kind of like putting it in another way, a plain way. Um, Negative and positive run parallel within each other. That one and the other are always present. The difference between that parallel, the lines, that parallelism can be adjusted, manipulated. So keeping that balance, realizing there's always negative, there's always positive, they're always running like train tracks, parallel, right? How far they are apart and how close they are can be think about it, manipulated and controlled.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And it's like you were saying, that person that's full of positive, even though who are we? Who are we to judge? Who needs it more, right? Even though
Absolutely.
that you may think, well, they're already positive, they don't need it as bad as this other person.
Oh no,
Well,
it's
they
always
may not perceive it that way. They may perceive that, well, that negative person's getting more attention than I am, and negativity's paying off. You don't
absolutely.
want to send that picture, right?
Absolutely. So you always have to nurture, your garden, your flowers, the love that's already is there needs nurturing always. Yeah. You don't say, oh, you're doing fine. You don't need that attention. Let me
Right.
put the attention to the other one. But you also don't turn the back on the other one. That needs to be dealt with. Yeah. Obviously, you deal with it with care, because negative will strike at you if it can. Yeah. So you deal with it with care, with due care and attention. Yeah. It's always the way
And
to do.
it's human nature. Deal with it with care. It's like, not try to force feed them. Let them eat. Don't cram it down their throat. Because it's human nature. I mean, if you try to cram down something's throat, the gag reflex is going to kick in, and they're going to want to choke it out, not swallow it. Whereas if you let them take a bite at a time, they'll digest it just fine in their own time.
Absolutely. And also, jumping on, as we were just chatting a little bit earlier, you and I, because we only merely touched on this for a few minutes. But one of the reasons this question came about is because at the moment there's a lot of us, that are on this path of the oneness, of connection, of moving forward, of awareness, of loving one another, loving each other, nurturing each other. So we are aware and becoming aware and becoming every day more in touch with connection. Connection is always there, is always been there, but we are becoming more and more aware of it. And it's talked about quite a lot, isn't it? Connection, connecting with each other. This is something we talk about all the time. What we often don't talk about is the disconnect.
I was going to say, isn't it more of a reconnection?
Yeah.
Because it's always been there. It's just
Oh,
that
yes.
we haven't been taught, we haven't been told, it hasn't been talked about. So if you don't use it, you lose it theory. But it's always been there. So it's a
Yes, absolutely.
reconnection that's
Absolutely.
taking place. Yeah.
Absolutely, because connection is always there, yes, but we are learning, we are becoming aware of it, yeah? We never lose the connection with the oneness. But, okay, most of us have seen the movie The Matrix, for example, yeah? So I'm going to use that as an example, okay? Because if you've seen that movie, you know that when you become aware, when you take that pill and you have that awareness, you have that moment where you become disconnect of the matrix. So there's a disconnect from everything that you have been holding to and you know as real, between brackets.
Kind of like metaphorically cutting the umbilical cord. Huh?
Yes. When that happens and you are on this beautiful path of learning, of connecting, feeling that you are connecting again, which you've never been disconnected, but you are feeling that you are connecting again because you are on this learning path, So you're opening your awareness, you're using your love, So when this happens, this is something that many people are not talking of,
Mm-hmm.
there's a few symptomatics, yeah, which is suddenly you are at a loss and you feel a disconnect with loved ones, with family, with work, with your partner, with everything you knew. It's like the floor suddenly is being pulled from under you. And you sort of feel at a loss. What is going on? Yes. This is that you just been disconnect from that which you know. Yeah. So don't fear that. Don't fear that. Because all it is, yes, you are suddenly noticing your oneness with everything, yeah? And you don't need to lose everything and everyone. You don't need to move away from everything and everyone, yeah? All you
But
need
isn't that a big? Go ahead.
Go,
Go
go,
ahead.
go, go. Ask.
I was going to say, isn't that a big battle within a lot of folks out there today? Is the being dependent on, excuse me, and or disconnecting from dependency.
Yes.
You know, some people, they want to disconnect from dependency. They want to be self-sufficient, and they're up for that. But a lot of people love, or without even any thinking about it, need and rely on so much of that dependency, that cord connecting you to the matrix, so to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it's scary. Say, we're going to disconnect you. Oh no, what am I going to do now?
Exactly.
Where some would look at that with fear and apprehension. Others would say, yay, another new adventure. Let's go.
Well, yes, exactly. What you said is absolutely correct. Because once that happens, you are at a sort of a bit of a loss. But you are not lost. You have just found yourself, yeah? All you need to do is, keep doing what you're doing, being on that path of the oneness, of the love that you are, and becoming more aware of that. And yet again, I cannot say this often enough, this love path needs listening. You need listening to the silence within. You need to do the homework, yeah? The meditation, the connection with nature, the all that what we talk of, every Monday, that is who we are, yeah, the love energy. So do not fear that, because you are doing the path. It is all the disconnect from the control system that you are feeling. You don't need to leave everyone, yeah. They are just being themselves. It's just you that are noticing the difference, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they might be noticing some difference in you too.
oh yes, of course they will.
But from what we're talking about now, it would be a positive, a welcome notice to most.
Indeed.
Unless you
Indeed.
just got some evil person overflowing to evil intent or whatever that just rubs the wrong way. But most people would welcome that with open arms. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry, I was having a drink.
And that's part of to me, the biggest hurdle, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is for a lot of people is the first step of just how am I going to put this into words at a loss for a moment, but the first step of just being open, being honest with yourself.
Yes.
That scares a lot of people. People got skeletons in their closet they don't want to deal with. They've got things filed away that they're still carrying that load, and they haven't put it in that specific place where you don't have to get rid of it. A lot of this stuff you're not going to get rid of. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to be able to get it. But you've got to compartmentalize it. So yes. It's not in the way. I mean, you put stuff in a drawer so that when you get out of bed to go to the bathroom, you don't trip over it, right? Well,
Yeah.
the same thinking. You got to put that in a drawer so it's not in the way. You don't have to carry it. You're not going to trip over it. It's not going to hinder your further achievements or advancements. That's a tough hurdle to get over, really.
Absolutely. I mean, most of us, yeah, we think, yes, the path is you read a few books, you go to a few seminars, and then you get to the end of the books, and you get to the end of the seminars, and you look for a next shot, yeah?
Hmm.
Because you've had your shot there of knowledge, and then you get hooked to that. That's another kind of matrix, really. Um, and really, it's all there. It's all within you, yeah? It's all in the Akashic records that you carry within you. You are the love. You are the power, yeah?
See, that's another example of unplugging from the matrix, the metaphor, so to speak. Going to seminars, reading books, that's all great. And necessary stepping stones, so to speak. But you've got to take the responsibility and hold yourself accountable to do your part, because one book will not teach everybody how to achieve a goal. It is, to me, in my opinion, most of them, they're not step by step. This is how you do it. It's these are things to, if they interest you, to motivate you, that are achievable. But what
Yes.
works for me might not necessarily work for you.
Absolutely.
So you've got to play with it. You've got to try. You've got to put your effort in and find what works for you using seminars, books, and other people's knowledge. Great. Yes, that's great. But don't be discouraged if what they're saying to do doesn't exactly work for you. But tweak it a little bit, right?
Yes, absolutely. And and if anything, they are there to help you, towards your inspiration, yeah, to open that what is already inside of you, yeah, is that drop of water that opens that seed that starts to bloom, that beautiful flower, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's all important on this beautiful path that we are in at the moment.
That's the wonderful thing about planting seeds, is some may start to grow immediately, within a day.
And
Some
and I
some
just
some some may not grow until next season, but
absolutely.
you still planted the seed. One
Yeah,
might be hiding under something where it doesn't get any light or moisture, but next year there's something gets disrupted, and now it gets light and moisture, and you know what I mean. It's got its own alarm clock, so to speak. Here we go again. But planting the seed's the important part. If you say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to throw it down on the ground, it's not going to grow," then yeah, it's not going to grow.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's so beautiful because, synchronicity happens all the time. Yeah. Some people like to call, oh, it's so coincident. We all here for coincidence. But no, we are all soul spirit and we are here for a reason now. Yeah. And this now is so important because it is what it is now. And we know. And it's why we all gravitate here. Yeah. To do what we're doing. Some of us doing the shows, but together we are here sharing experience. Some of us are talking, and the ones that are not speaking here with us, they are listening, and they are sharing their energy with us too. Yeah, we are all growing together. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we help each other with our comments, with our energy, with the fact that we get together, even in silence, we grow, yeah? Because the strength is in the fact that our energy is coming together, yes? And it's a beautiful energy that we are creating. So, I think it's a very, very beautiful time. That
Absolutely. I mean, we make the best of what we've got, and do with what we've got to work with. But we do live in beautiful times. I mean, there's a lot of negative around us, but I don't use that to paint the picture myself.
it is indeed a beautiful time, and there is negative about it. There's no hiding from that. Um, and you can't ignore the fact that there is negative. Yeah, I myself have been having quite a lot um, negative to deal with. Yeah, that was coming at me at real, very intense, very intense, and I had to stay in the power of love, and and there was no other way for me to be than to be strong, yeah, and to use this most strongest energy that I know of, which is the energy of love. Yeah, it resonates at such strong level. Yeah, and regardless of how negative was coming at me, and how strong, and how it kept um, duplicating itself into different beings, yeah, because one being was not enough. It kept sharing its negativity throughout others, yeah, to come back at me, yeah, and it, I would go down, but I'd get up again, and I did not waver. I did swear. I did growl. I did get claws out. Yeah. But one thing I never did, I never strayed away from the love that I am. Yeah. And the energy that was coming out of me was always loving. Always. Yeah. Even when I said your swear word.
My swear word.
And I did say a few. But, yeah, inside and outside, I was always losing love. Yeah. And in the end, what happened was, where all this was happening, yeah, it was becoming so dark, yeah, that everyone was being affected. And in the end, negative had to move. It just had to move. And it moved, and it moved with everything that was attached to it. And literally, the place became more light, yeah. And light was actually flowing into the place. And other people there became light-hearted.
Infected by it.
Yes, and you could see the difference in them. They became happier, yeah? And it was like a big heaviness suddenly was lifted from the whole place, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But there was only one power that could have shifted that, yeah? And that was the love energy.
Yeah. I mean, you even watch some paranormal shows. I was talking with somebody about that. They love watching paranormal stuff, and even in them, these people that they'll dispel negative spirits, so to speak. You know, ones with bad intentions. Go with intentions again. The importance of intentions, and call it not quite like an exorcism, but I mean, I guess that old TV movie, The Exorcism, is a good example. Now that I bring it up.
Scary one.
Well, I'm just one part. I'm the good part. You know, when it leaves, the room brightens up, the air is much easier to breathe. You know, a weight's lifted off your shoulders, type of feeling that everybody talks about.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Same thing, really.
Yeah, no, but it is true because, you know,
And negativity carries weight.
absolutely.
It's a way to put it. I mean, can I put it on a scale and weigh it? Of course not. If I could, you wouldn't be able to see what it weighs right here anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah, negativity carries weight.
it can be very, very strong. And if you're not prepared to stand strong and the love, yeah, um, you have something, really a big struggle there. But what you need to realize, yeah, is that it's not about believing in love, yeah. It's about knowing love. It's about becoming the love, yeah. It's not I believe in love, it's I am love, yeah. You become the love.
Become one with it, not a victim or victor of it.
So you are that love. And because you are that love, you are that resonance. Yeah. You cannot shift something that is on the highest level. Yeah. And the highest strength of all. You just cannot shift it. Basically, you cannot. Negative fools you by making you believe that love is not that strong. Yeah. And this is one of the reasons it has always hidden the fact by making love look mushy, by making love being less than what it is. Yeah. Love is amazingly strong. Yeah. We all know.
You're crossing the line there between the universic or cosmic love versus, physical pleasures.
Oh, of course.
And that's a common mistake. I mean, there's certain words that throw people a picture in their mind, and most people do. You say love and they think sex. And it's not what we're talking about, obviously.
Anyone that knows the love we're talking of here, which is universal love, the love that is all, the creation, the plasma, yeah? You can, when you view it from your mind's eye, yeah, when you become that love and you connect, yeah, but you are always connected, but when you connect with it, yeah, and you can view it from the mind's eye, it's amazing, yeah, it's beautiful. It's what I often call a plasma of love, the amazing cosmic dance. It's the one that creates all and the one that is all, yeah. And there is nothing stronger than that, because it always has been, it always will be, yeah.
Yeah. And, like Woz says, unconditional love. And, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you take a dog, for instance. You throw a dog in the trunk of a car. 3 hours later, you come let it out. Chances are it's going to be happy to see you and jump and lick you, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do that with a person. What happens? It takes a special person to get the same reaction, doesn't it? I guess is what I'm saying. Because we've been tainted by societal implications and programming.
Indeed. But we are, opening our hearts to the cosmic dance of love, aren't we? And this is so beautiful, This is our time. This is the time we stand in the power of love, yeah. And that our souls reunite yet again, yeah. And it's beautiful. I think I've told you this before. At one point I was doing a meditation, and I came out of body whilst I was doing this meditation. And next thing I knew, I was looking back at our planet, yeah, and I was in this, my body was back at home, still sitting down in meditation, but I, at that point, was a light being, connected to thousands of other light beings, yeah, all sharing love towards the planet, towards the plant life, towards the waters, towards all the beings, animal life, and from there towards the cosmos. And that is who we truly are. Yeah. I found myself for a split second looking into what I was doing, and I was doing that together with thousands of other people, yeah, that were doing just that, meditating towards a better outcome, yeah, and without realizing we were all connected at a higher level. And just for that split second, I became aware. And the minute I became aware, back into the body. Because it's sort of almost, I was almost not allowed to have seen that. It was like, wow, and because I was sort of, yeah, it's difficult to explain, but it was, the beauty, the awness of it all was so amazing. And I was so, that I almost disconnected from what I was doing, the meditation. So in connection with all the ones that were meditating. And because I was perceiving that and I was looking up back onto that, I, for a split second, disconnected from that same meditation. So back and woke up. So I had to go sort of sit there for a minute, wriggle my toes, wriggle my fingers, smile, wriggle my nose, back into the room. And go, oh, you naughty girl.
Here's a question. Would meditation, or could meditation be perceived or similar to prayer?
Yes. Yes.
I agree. Different. This has got their inherent differences, but the same power and results. Now, what you were saying, all those other people that were with you.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Now, people have heard what power of prayer can do. I mean,
oh yes.
now you hear that all the time. It's been going on for eons. Well,
yes.
on the same token, I believe it's a redundant question from where I sit because I already had my own opinion when I asked you that, and I agree with you. I believe meditation and prayer are, similar.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and based on that, when you get somebody is in a situation and you get a bunch of people praying for them, the power of prayer. Just imagine the power of everybody getting in that frequency, love, compassion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Imagine the power that would have.
Yes. It is all on the same energy level. Yes.
We don't have to imagine it though, right?
Yes.
It's there. We just got to do it.
Absolutely. It's all on that same energy level because you're coming from the heart, yeah. And your intention, yeah, is love, healing.
Your what?
Intention. Yeah,
Intention. Your intentions, yes, okay. I just wanted to emphasize that. It's intentions again. Your intentions are positive.
Yes. Yes, it's love. It's the right vibration. Your intent
Yeah.
to, yeah. So you are that, yeah, and you're resonating that. So um, yes, it's beautiful. It's again the cosmic dance of love. Yeah, and
And even threw in another dig for the power of intention there too, didn't we?
mm,
No, but really, I mean, that's getting talked about more, and it's great to hear. I mean, Patty and Barb touched on it a little while ago. A lot more people are talking about it, but it's very important. The power of intention is real. They've done, like the water rice experiment, the water experiment, the plant experiment. There's scientific data to back it up. It's real.
absolutely, absolutely. And that water experiment, it is so beautiful, isn't it?
But
Absolutely.
unfortunately, it's done at a level where you can't see it without magnification. But
Mm.
once you see it, it is amazing to be done in such a almost molecular example. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yes, yes. And and so knowing that, yeah, what we know about this water example, yeah, and
yeah,
this prayer, intention, word, feeling, yeah, feeling, vibration, resonance that goes into the water, yeah.
hmm
And we are again, how much more or less percentage of water?
a little over 70%.
Yes. So Dr. Emoto came up with this, which is beautiful. Yeah. Uh, we know this. We are, water. We are crystalline beings. We are love beings. Yeah. Now, uh, meditation, awareness, um, all this is important. Yeah. I have a shower or I have a bath. Always do this resonance towards the water I touch, yeah? Even when I do the dishes. And that is healing, yeah? It's touching my skin. Skin is eating, yeah? It's in
hmm
contact with the water. It's drinking, yeah? And we are water too, yeah? So it's all resonating, yeah? So I'm washing my hands. The intent is healing, cleansing, yeah, of myself. And yet the water too, yeah. Never selfish. Always give, receive, share. So I give to myself love. I give to myself healing. I give to this beautiful water that is doing that to me and with me. Healing and love, and I give it back to it. So it goes forth and it gives to the Mother Earth that same healing, that same love, and it gives to the plants that same healing, that same love. So it goes in its process and its travel, yeah, and its journey, and all it does is healing and love. Because it carries the memory, because water carries memory. So every time I touch water, I carry the intention, the intent of love, healing, memory. I now use that awareness because I know of it, yeah? I know that water carries memory. So what do I do when I touch water?
Give it good memories.
Yes, you give it good memories. You give it healing. You heal it and you heal yourself. And you send it off to go heal. Yeah? I
Yep.
think that is beautiful. And this is one of the things at the moment I have in using of awareness, yes. With awareness, with knowledge, comes respect, comes so much,
Responsibility.
responsibility, a lot of R's. Respect.
That's just the first letter we started with. We can go to the other end of the alphabet. Accountability. Oh no, that's an old word. They don't use that anymore. I forgot.
Yes, but this is another thing, yeah? Laughter, joy, yeah? Love. All those are very important too. Never forget that all this, what we're speaking of, the love, the cosmic dance, the awareness, everything that we just said is very important. But never forget, bit like when you're cooking, you add a pinch of salt, a bit of pepper for taste, yeah? With all this, what we're doing, yeah? Add always love, joy, laughter, yeah? Because those are special ingredients that are needed, yeah, a part of this love vibration. Yeah, don't be all serious about it. Don't leave the laughter behind just because you're being in a meditative state, because you're being oh so serious about this path, yeah. You can't be laughing, you can't be giggly, you can't have naughty thoughts, yeah. Like I was having earlier when you were doing the chickens with the broom and you said it was icy, and straight away I imagined chicken hockey on ice.
Broom hockey, yeah.
Yeah, broom hockey. It's all part of it. You have to have the fun, you have to have the laughter, you have to have all that, yeah? Because you have to allow your energy to flow, yeah? Be water. Allow for the energy to flow. Don't go all tight, yeah? Oh, this has to be so seriously done. Allow for it to flow. Be water.
Yeah.
So, let me put my eyes on. Are there any comments, any questions? Grizz,
That's what I was just reading over. I didn't see any there. See, Lars shared something. You hear the gears and the belts. You hear the gears and the belts in this thing. I'm trying to open up that link. Computer's going.
Unfortunately, I can't open a link because then I'll disappear from the radio. Yes, be the water. Indeed. So important. I'm trying to read what they used to do is.
Oh, wow. 1 million movies stored in this vial of water. That'd be interesting. But yeah, there's similar studies done in water.
Yeah.
Crystals and rocks. They all store energy. And
yes.
energy is frequency. It's pretty much related. It's related to everything. So you scroll it up into a movie, or it's not out of the realm of possibilities, right?
Absolutely.
Just because we can't read it doesn't mean it's not there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful cosmic dance what we're going here through, and the old matrix. All it did is kept us in the fear zone, yeah, and it's very limited zone, yeah, very limited. Open up, yeah. Bloom like a beautiful flower, yeah. Be water. Allow yourself to flow. Don't take it all so serious that you can't flow, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Be the water, be the love, flow.
I loved Bruce Lee's little discussion on that. Be the water is what I'm talking about. When trying to hold it, you can't. Punch it, you can't hurt it.
Yes.
Yet water is tough enough to wear the toughest stone.
Absolutely. Drop by drop.
He goes on and on talking about water. Never be still. Still water stagnates.
Yes.
Moving water is always healthy, vigorous,
yes,
necessary for life.
yes.
I mean, he goes on and on about it. Yeah, he gets deep in the water.
Totally. In my a lot of my meditations, I like to bring water into it. It's cleansing. Water helps you to pass from here to the next layer of reality. Well, one of the layers of realities, like, for example, spirit zone, yeah? The island I take us to sometimes on the meditation, yeah? Things like that. Water is so important, yeah? And the disconnect, of us is only being through fear, through misdirecting, through so many things like that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's such a wonderful journey we are. Yeah, we are amazing souls. Yeah, spirit, and a journey of love and knowledge. Yeah, and
Lewis put in there, a drop of water is nothing, yet billions of drops in a tidal wave destroy a largest city.
absolutely.
First of all, a drop of water is a lot more than nothing. I mean, that could be a week's supply of life-sustaining fluid to a certain living organism, an insect, for instance. So to us, a drop of water may seem insignificant. But what is a drop of water when a vial, 30, 50 drops, holding all this knowledge, this movies, so how are we to judge that drop of water? Drop of water is one part of a bigger integral system, much like we are.
Well, yes, we are.
Feeling like we're insignificant. No, we're part of a bigger picture.
Exactly. You see, we are the drop of water, yeah? I'm one drop, you are one drop, Lois is another drop, Patty is another drop, Louis is another drop, Annie, everyone is one drop of water, yeah? Together, we are the ocean, yeah?
And no disrespect, Louis, but I think that needs to be pointed out because we all need to start looking at that a little more serious. We're all a drop of water on a rock that's over 70% water. So all of us together make up more than 3/4 of this planet. Now, individually insignificant, if you want to look at that way, one drop is nothing. But that's not the way it is. We're all interconnected. We are all drops of water. We are all connected. So we are all something. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
We need to start looking at it that way. One bee is no threat, but a million bees will make the toughest run.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's strength in quantity and numbers. But when you break it down, that one bee is still important.
Yes. And also, for example, because we have memory, we have as the drop of water, has got memory. People also sometimes think, that oneness is scary, I don't know if I want to be part of the oneness, because, once you're part of the oneness, Do I lose my identity? No. Every single drop of water always is that drop of water. It's just they're all together making one large body, yeah, which is the sea, yeah, the oneness. Okay, but you can see that when there's a great big wave, yeah, you see them all jumping and, in happiness whilst they're riding the top of that wave, yeah, and you can see them all individually, yeah, before they crash down and become one again, yeah. You
Yeah.
can see them go, yay! Going through that fun part, just as they're touching the air and coming out from the sea, just the more daring ones going, yahoo! And it's all part of the fun of, surfing the wave and again, it's beautiful. Uh, uh, near,
If imagine being a drop of water, though. Just look at it this way: you want to go on a wonderful journey. Let's experience the life of a drop of water, a water molecule. Okay, you want to talk about highs to lows.
Mhm.
Start up high, up in the clouds. You're a raindrop. You fall to earth. Let's say you fall on high land in the mountains. Okay, you get either drawn downstream to larger bodies of water or soaked in through the earth. Let's go through the earth. There's different roads we can take. I'm going to take the long way around. Okay, we'll go through the earth. We get follow cracks in the rock. We go deep. We go deep. We go deep. It gets hot, so we change properties. We go from a fluid to a gas, steam. Right?
Yeah.
Well, steam will rise. It'll go the opposite way. Gravity brings water down the cracks. Steam will go up through the cracks. And now let's take a different road. Okay, we bubble up through the bottom of the ocean. In our journey, going down through there, turning from a gas, liquid to a gas, we also pick up inherent nutrients that we bring along the way. So we're coming up in, let's say it's the ocean or a lake or whatever. We're bringing nutrients up, feeding little things from plankton to whales.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then you're mixed in with the ocean. Yay, you're a big party, you're home, a big, family reunion, you trillions and quadrillions and gazillions drops of water, a big reunion, And you evaporate and you go back up to the clouds. Now, I missed some steps there along the way, of course.
Oh,
But
yes.
what a wonderful cycle, what a wonderful journey that would be, right?
It is absolutely. It is absolutely. So beautifully put. Yeah. I mean, isn't that a beautiful cosmic ride? The whole thing.
Yeah. That's just here on this rock. just being in the aspect of water.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And it, as you say, this is just here on the planet. But then, if you go out of the planet, there's water everywhere outside there as well. Yeah.
Well, presumably, these meteors that consisted of ice is what brought water here.
Yeah.
Some would say.
And not just that. I mean, it's all, so beautiful. So all I can call it really is a cosmic dance. Because it's beautiful.
Just one part of a wonderful cosmic dance. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes, Grizz, indeed. Grizz describing the rock experience. Awesome, Law says. Yes, I agree.
When I was a kid, somebody put a couple rocks up my nose, and they're still rattling around in my head.
Oh, well, I think this is so important, yeah. And wow, What a ride, eh?
Can we
What?
say where one drop starts and ends? Patty says.
Sorry?
Can you say where one drop starts and ends? Patty
Uh,
says. Well, who am I to say what is the start and what is the end? I mean,
yeah,
come
I
first,
think
chicken or the egg?
I think there's no beginning and no end, you know. I think it's all a beautiful cosmic dance, yeah. Because separation, it's only part of an experience. But the separation, it's never true separation, yeah. It's all a experience, yeah. So, like for example, we arrive, back to the examples that we're giving in water, yeah. We arrive, for example, on a cloud, yeah, and the cloud starts to rain, and we come down as a drop of as lots, hundreds and thousands of drops of water, yeah. Hey, splat here, splat there when we arrive here, yeah. So we were all together there, come down as one singular here and there, yeah. Are we separated? Yes, at that point, yeah. And we are all having an experience, different drops, yeah. Having a different experience on the way, all the way down. They experience differently where they land. Some on land, some on a mountain, some on rivers, so back onto the water straight away. Some on the ocean straight away. They go like, whoo, very small experience on the land bit, but straight into the ocean. So everyone is having a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
We are having individual experience in the journey, but the separation is more apparent than real, because we are always connected through the oneness, which is Great Spirit. And that is what we are. Never separated. Always love on a cosmic journey, on a cosmic dance.
Wow. And Patty put it an interesting way too. Nailed it. Each singular drop seeks to find other drops, finding its way to the source, just like us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So here we are again, all in different ways, sharing and all coming together in a very, very beautiful way, isn't it?
Yeah. Once you're aware of it's so wonderful and makes so much sense.
It does, doesn't it? It's so wonderful.
But it's not like we've been saying. I mean, we overstate it, and justifiably so, from where I sit, because it's not being talked about enough. It's not being taught enough. Not enough people are being made aware of it,
Mm.
and it's really sad. But I think it's inevitable. I think sooner or later people realize, gee, I'm stuck in this negative mode, and I'm always blaming it on something. As negativity's happening, but once people start taking accountability for it, why? How much of it is my fault? Once they start breaking it down and thinking about it,
Yeah.
more people look to go to the positive, in my opinion, than seek to go to the negative.
I totally agree with you.
But
This is
the
why we
negative,
started. This is why we started today on that. Where should we put our attention to? Just the positives, just the negative, or make sure that everyone is all right? Yeah,
right?
because we have to all rise the vibration. Yeah, everyone is going to do it their own way, get there in their own time. Just the same as when we come down as single drops, have different experience because we fall on different ground. We're going to have different experiences and everything. But we are one, really. Yeah.
And we want to remember, we don't want to shun, kick, or ridicule on the way by just because they're not there yet. that's feeding negativity. I mean, got to keep it in perspective. But I noticed. I told Gaz earlier. I says, "Boy, that reminds me of a good closing remark before we go." And I don't know. I guess we're about ready to close up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. What is it?
Well, this is for Gaz, and I just wanted to begin the closing with this remark. It's, hey, Lizzy, let's make like a hockey stick and get the puck out of here, huh?
I was not expecting that.
But like I said, playing hockey and coaching, we've got a lot of them. But Gaz made me think of that. It's something he said, so I had to throw that in. We actually got him in here, didn't we?
Gaz is coming.
Second. Anyway.
Okay. Shall we call it a night? As I absolutely enjoyed, loved, as I always do, being here. Thank you all for being with us and staying all the way. Thank you, Grizz. Thanks, Gaz, for joining us. Are you still with us? Gaz?
Ever so briefly.
That's such a brief point. I was just going to say it's been a year the other day that we all started our group here in People for People, and it's been a great joy, great experience, a great ride, and I feel honored to be part of this beautiful family, and I am learning every day. Love you all, brothers and sisters. Thank you ever so much for being with us. Thank you, People for People, for being here with us. Chris?
Yes, thank you, everyone. Not to be redundant, but yeah, what Lizzy said. Appreciate it. I know it's getting late, but fill you over with love, folks, and y'all have a great, happy, healthy, safe week ahead of you, and we'll catch you next time. Love and hugs, y'all.
Love and hugs. And I love that one that you said. Say it again.
Let's make like a hockey stick and get the puck out of here. All right.
Night.
Nice.
The love bomb will give you good vibration. We keep you comfy when the trouble raining. So look inside and find the deep elation. Now move your happiness across the entire nation. Everybody in the bubble give love, cause everybody in the bubble got love, yeah. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know. You and I can't afford to be strangers. We got the light of good no matter what be the danger. Angels, I know they follow me around. They're making sure I keep it pure by keeping it safe and sound. I get toned down to the music alive. Forever the melody telling me how to be better than just on time. It's the heat from the lights, sun beams in the sky, from the trees to the signs on the street. They survive in my feet. Of course you know they be funky. They keeping the funky punk alive like I was a monkey. Limb to limb swinging, limb by limb flinging, wind to wind, grin by grin, and they still singing. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know. The little one, Jab is the big one. Jab is the skinny fat, the healthy and the sick one. Jah holla back no matter if you're not or if you're this one. If you're rich or poor, black, white or Indonesian, a bit of family love to send you on your way. A tickle of the kiss in the Jaja way. Yeah. The love gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the your noggin till you bubble your toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody, everybody now you know.
Everybody, how you doing, y'all? My name is MISTA, Mr. Cookie Jar. There's so much love in this place, time to huddle up. At this pace, we bound to double up. You're now surfing on the waves of the love.